Class, welcome to Comp 1 Online. This is Prof. Cole, and I'll be walking you through our beginning parts of our course and the week 1 of our course. After you take Comp 1, my hope for you is that you'll gain the tools necessary to summarize information, to summarize and respond to information, and to begin working on research projects. The purpose of this video is going to be to walk you through our course so you can familiarize yourself with it and so you'll be ready to go come week 1. After you watch this video, I want you to review the assignments because all of them are now open for you. So go through, you can kind of click through our assignments and see what's going to be due and what's coming up in the next few weeks. I want you to also look through the goals of this course so you make sure that they are meeting the goals and the educational goals you have set for yourself. And finally, I want you to make sure you go through the syllabus after you finish watching this video. I know this is something you can do and that you're capable of doing, but you must believe that this class is something you can do too. If you decide after looking through all that it is something you can do, I need you to go ahead and take this course verification to let us know that you're on board and you're going to be taking this course over the next 6 weeks. Alright, as we begin, let's go ahead and look at our syllabus. You are responsible for reading through the entire syllabus on your own, but I'm going to go ahead and go through and hit some high points that I want to make sure you know. First, let's look at the late work policy. Because this is a 16-week course condensed into 6 weeks, it goes very fast and we do not have time for late work. So our policy here is that no late work is accepted unless pretty much all hell breaks loose or something happens. If you do have a major problem in your life that comes up during the course of the 6 weeks, please let me know so we can go ahead and work something out from the get-go. But just keep in mind that during the usual course of events that no late work is accepted and you need to turn everything in on time. Alright, now let's look at our online expectations. So my expectations for you for this course is that you'll read the assignments for link each week. You'll read through all the links and complete all the readings and assignments. That you'll check into the course frequently throughout the week because this is not an in-person course where you can show up once or twice and be done. Since this is an online course, then you're going to need to make sure you show up throughout the week and be engaged in the course. You'll also be accountable for the deadlines on all assignments. You'll need to stay in contact with me, which includes responding to emails promptly, because throughout the course I'm going to be sending you emails, so make sure that you have access to your SNU email and that you check it at least daily because you'll be responsible for the information in those emails as well. And that you'll complete all the assignments following the academic integrity policy of SNU, which we'll look at again in just a few minutes. And I will have all readings and assignments back to you available and clearly detailed in my courses, and there's rubrics for all the assignments. You can look through and go ahead and see when they're all due, how many points are earned for each assignment, and how you get those points. I will respond to your communications promptly, and from me you will hear back in less than 24 hours. If you don't hear back from me within 24 hours, it means I did not receive your message or email. So be sure to get back to me if you don't hear from me that quickly. Most of the time I respond much faster to your emails in 24 hours. I will offer feedback and grades on the assignments in a timely manner. I do my best to get them back to you within 24 hours on your grading on assignments. At the very outset it will be 72 hours, but I do my very best I can to get your assignments back to you in less than 24 hours from whenever you turn them in. I also promise I will treat all of you fairly and equally, and I'll grade according to the rubrics that are set up online, and I'll work with you to ensure your opportunities succeed. I really enjoy working on this class. I really enjoy teaching Comp 1, and I really like working with you to help you succeed, to answer your questions, and help you learn this material the best you can. The next thing that we're going to look at is going to be our overview of course assignments and our objectives, activities, and points. So here you can see lined out for you the different assignments that we'll have and how much they're worth. So you have several major writing assignments, and those are worth 60% of your grade. You have the writing sample that's due this week, and that's not something I want you to stress over. It's just going to be to give me a baseline of how your writing is at this time. And so just follow the instructions there and go ahead and hand it in. Don't stress real big over that at all. You're also going to have a compare and contrast essay that's 100 points. A summary that's 50 points, a summary response that's 100 points, and their final research essay that's going to be 100 points. 40 percent of your grade will be from other class activities, which will be the journals, the forums, group activities, pre-writing, and various activities throughout the course. I have a link to the journal rubric here and a link to the forum rubric here for you. On the forums, it's important to note that statements like, I agree, or that's a great idea, don't work. We need statements that are going to continue the conversation, keep the conversation going. And so just saying, I agree, that looks great, that's not going to cut it to get full points on the forums. So be sure to look at that forum rubric so you know exactly what constitutes full points on the forums. There will also be rubrics for each of the individual assignments linked for you throughout our course, so you can go ahead and look over those rubrics as well. Now let's look at the academic integrity policy. So here's SNU's academic integrity statement, and I'll let you click on those and read through them yourself. What I want to make sure you're aware of is that there are a few major types of plagiarism that I want you to make sure you don't do. Word-for-word copying without acknowledgement is of course plagiarism, but also the unacknowledged paraphrasing of another author's ideas, incorrectly copying or paraphrasing, and then again submitting part or whole of a paper written for another class. All of those are considered some form of plagiarism, and I'll need you to be careful of them. When you turn your papers in on Turnitin.com, it's going to catch the first 3 forms of this, and it'll actually catch the 4th one if you use Turnitin.com in a previous class where you've submitted that paper. But you can go back and look at those originality reports to make sure you're not unintentionally plagiarizing from another course or from another source. If you ever have any questions about plagiarism or whether you're accidentally plagiarizing, please shoot me an email. I really do not mind looking over your papers to make sure that you're citing things correctly. So if you ever have a question as if you're doing something correctly, shoot me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Of course, if you send me an email the day of the assignment's due, that's probably not going to give me enough time to get back to you, but if you give me it to the day before or something like that, then I'll do my best to get it back to you quickly so you can fix any problems that might be in your paper. Alright, that's all I'm going to look over on the syllabus itself. I'll let you read through the rest of them there, but be sure that you read through the rest of the syllabus because that is our contract as we work through this course together, and it's really important that you're aware of that information. Now let's move on to looking at the general parts of the course. Here you have the Meet Your Professor video that you should have already watched, and if you haven't, you can go there and kind of get to know a little bit more about me. And you need to work through your computer compatibility checklist to make sure that you have all the programs you need. If you don't have one of the programs, they have links there so you can have the program for free and you can continue on working in the course. Here's the course verification that you need to go ahead and fill out and answer the questions after you're done looking through the course and done reading through the syllabus and are agreeing to go continue on with the course. Our written communication rubric is here. This is a general rubric that gives the guidelines of what is expected in essays from SNU, and so you can read through it, but you need to be aware that all our assignments have rubrics associated with them. This is the general written communication rubric that most writing assignments in SNU adhere to, but you can find more specific rubrics on all the assignments. Some of them do use this rubric, but others of them have an assignment-specific rubric. Here's our questions forum. If you post a question on there, again, I will get back to it in 24 hours or less, and that's for questions that the whole class might be interested in the answer to. So if you have a question that you think everybody might be interested in the answer to, that would be a good place to put that question. Here's the helpful links link, and there I've linked information about transitions, about grammar, how to do introductions, conclusions. And so on your papers, you might see me say this has a weak introduction, and I'll refer to some of the links there. And so whenever you see me referring to the helpful links link, that's what I'm talking about. Online tutoring is a great thing SNU has available for you. I really, really like it. You're going to be required to go to the online tutor at least once for this course with your draft for your compare and contrast essay. But you're going to find the instructions for it here and then the link for it here, and they are available for you 24/7. A real person can sit down and look over your paper with you 24/7 using that link. A good thing to keep in mind is when you do go there, you're going to need to have your paper in the proper format, which I think is just a regular Word document. But also it helps if you have some questions and ideas of what you need from them when you go there. If you just say, hey, tell me what's good about my paper or what I need to fix, they can do that, but that doesn't give them a whole lot to work with. So it helps them if you can take the rubric for the assignment and the assignment instructions with you if you have them available, and if you have some specific questions in mind about how your paper is working. But I am really excited that we now have this available for you where you can access them 24/7. So if you're working on paper at 2 a.m., they can be there for you at 2 a.m. to work through your paper with you. Some other information I'll make sure you're aware of is that if you're having any trouble with technology, then this is where you're going to call. I might be able to help you out a little bit with parts of the course if you're having trouble, but if it's an actual technical issue, you're going to want to check here first. If you have a disability, here's some information there for you, and you can contact our Disability Service Director. If you're unsure about some of the technical aspects of using Moodle, like for instance, looking up how to see my comments and stuff on the Turnitin.com assignments. So for on our writing sample next week, I'll be making comments on your paper there. You won't find those comments in the grade book, and you're not going to find them when you just click on this link. There'll be something that says comment 0. That's not where I put comments. You're actually going to have to click into your paper, and the instructions for how to do that if you're not sure are right here. And that also has a lot of other instructions for you on how to do videos and screencasts like I'm doing right now, and how to work with different parts of Moodle. So that's a great place for you to go if you have any questions about Moodle. And then when you're doing your research, a link to the SNU library is here. If you have any other questions, then my contact information will be here. Moodle problems, laptop issues, Department of Online Learning, there's all the contact information you need. And if you need to send me an email, you can just click right here and you can send me an email that way. Now looking into week 1. Each week I want you to make sure you look at this assignments link, and then you're going to need to work through the assignments listed here during the week. As you look at the assignments link, I want you to keep in mind it's not a one-to-one correlation with the 1.1, 1.2 on the front page. Some links might have no links on the front page. For instance, right here, these videos about using Turnitin, those aren't going to have an assignment on the front page, but some of the others might have 1 or 2 or 3 links associated with them. So kind of keep that in mind. But you can kind of use this as a checklist. Check your assignments, and they'll have additional information available for you in here to read like I do this week sometimes. Looking at week 1 assignments, on Tuesday you have 3 assignments due. You have your student statement of academic integrity, and that's just let me know that you understand it, your syllabus quiz, and then the Ghent Acquainted Forum. On the Ghent Acquainted Forum, you're going to need to do a video, much like I did for my welcome video. And if you have any questions about how to do a video, you just go to the Student Moodle resources that I pointed out, and that will give you instructions on how to do videos, if you're not familiar with that. On here is going to be your writing sample, and that's due on Thursday. And on that writing sample, I don't want you to stress out about it. I don't want you to get worried about it. Just follow the instructions and go ahead and just write something. It's not anything you need to worry about. It's just giving me a baseline for your writing. So just follow the instructions and write something. Don't get all stressed about having a writing assignment already due on Thursday. I think it's even less than 1 page or so. So it's nothing to get all stirred up about. On 1.5, you have your Easy Writer Diagnostic and Grammar Improvement Plan. I do want to go over this with you because a lot of students forget about it until the end of our class. So on this Easy Writer Diagnostic and Grammar Improvement Plan, there's going to be a couple parts. The first part is that this week you have, and it's worth 10 points, you have the diagnostic due by Sunday. That is not something that you can leave to 10 o'clock on Sunday night to complete. This will take you at least an hour, maybe longer, and you need to sit down and do it all in one session. And so make sure you give yourself plenty of time to complete this so you can do well on it. If you do well here, then it will give you less work to do throughout the rest of the course. On this, whatever you score less than 70% on, you're going to need to take quizzes and read tutorials in order to improve your grade. So for example, if you score less than 70% on commas, you're going to need to read tutorials about commas, and then you're going to take quizzes over commas until you get greater than 70% on 3 quizzes. Usually students have about 7 sections that they need to work on at least. And so if that's the case with you, I would do 1 or 2 of those a week, because they're going to be due by the end of week 5, and it's worth 100 points to get all of those done. I grade this by looking at how many parts you needed. So say you missed 7 sections, got 70% on, I times that by 3, and then I make sure that you have that many quizzes done and that you scored over 70% on whenever I'm looking at the grade book on Easy Writer. And that's how you earn your points for this assignment. So the important thing is to make sure you keep up with this throughout the class. If you leave it till Sunday of week 5, you're going to have a long night. So do not do that. Make sure you work on it throughout the course and don't just forget about it. And it's good. If you have any questions as you go through this, please do not hesitate to ask me. If you can't find a tutorial, or if you're confused about it after reading through the instructions and watching the videos and everything, because I have more videos down here to show you how to do some of the steps, because I know this is a long and involved assignment. Please let me know if you have any questions. I am more than happy to help you here and make sure you understand what is needed to earn all the points possible on this assignment. But for this week, all you need to worry about is doing the diagnostic and finding out what parts you need to work on during the rest of the course. Also here on 1.6, you have your reading for this week, and then you have your end of the week journal. Each week you're going to have a journal that just kind of lets me know how you're processing the information each week, and kind of gives you a chance to talk to me about how things are going. And so make sure you do that after all the assignments are done during each week. Alright, if you have any questions as you go through the course or as you work through the information, please let me know. Your next steps are going to be to look over the course syllabus, look over the course, and then take the course verification. As you work through this course, your success is a high priority for me. I really want you to do well, to learn the information, and to succeed in this course. If you ever have any questions as you go through the course and go through Comp 1, please let me know. I am here to help you succeed. I answer my emails back in less than 24 hours, like I mentioned before. And if you need to meet with me in a Google Hangout, I'm more than happy to do that for you as well. So after you do all 3 of those things, is look over the syllabus, look over the course, and take the course verification, go ahead and begin working on the course, because we hit the ground running in Comp 1, since, like I said, it's 16 weeks condensed into 6. And then let me know if you have any questions as you get started. You guys have a good weekend.